and it's just about to explode into other dimensions.
I was shown my legacy, the end of the path I started us on.
And just to see all of them coming together, it's a daring act.
Who the hell are you guys?
With Infinity War, we're paying off every little thread and every little tease that we've had in what will be 18 films prior to Infinity War. There's never been anything like this. Being able to film after film tease at a larger story, really building these stories up into a giant conclusion, while at the same time introducing an entirely new direction for the future.
New direction for the future is right. So hey everybody, it's Charlie. Marvel just announced 6 untitled movies for Phase 4 with dates, so I wanted to do a video explaining because there are 10 now. 10 Marvel movies starting with Spider-Man 2, which picks up in the wake of Avengers 4. Spider-Man 2 is the beginning of Marvel Phase 4. So I'll say there's a new round of that Infinity Gauntlet giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video. So a lot of you probably have a pretty good idea for at least half of these movies. Some of them are a foregone conclusion. There's going to be an Avengers sequel, there's going to be a Black Panther sequel, there'll be another Spider-Man film, there'll be a Black Widow film. So some of these are pretty easy to guess, and some of them already have release dates. But remember, there's 10 total. So starting Spider-Man 2, July 2019, that's only going to be one Phase 4 movie during that year because they have Captain Marvel and Avengers 4. So Marvel is going to stick to its 3 movies per year schedule. That seems like it's going to be their thing for the rest of time. So in like 10 years when we're on Marvel Phase 7, they'll still be doing 3 movies per year, not including any potential X-Men movies or Deadpool universe movies that they might do when they get that IP. So right now, we're just talking about classic MCU films. I'll figure in the Fantastic Four, Galactus, X-Men of it all as we get closer and closer to that 2022 date, because right now that seems like it's going to be the end of the next phase of movies. So when you're talking to your friends, the easiest way to explain different eras of Marvel films is in those Avengers films, whatever the action of those are. So until they give us an official title and let us know about what some of those other bigger Avengers films are going to be after Avengers 4, just think of Phase 4 as the new Avengers era, because they're cycling characters out, they're cycling new characters in. The title writes itself, Avengers 5, The New Avengers, coming May 2022. When it comes to that next Avengers film, because we're doing 2 back-to-back, I think they might wait up to 3 years depending on how well their box office does. That's why there's always going to be a film with Avengers in the title every couple of years. The really interesting ones are when they try weird stuff, like if they ever do an A-Force movie. But then we have Guardians 3 that's already got a date for May 2020.
I think I shall call him Adam.
It's going to be the last Guardians film with this roster, and all I think that means is they'll continue to do Guardians films. It'll just be different characters, and James Gunn isn't going to direct every single one of them. Like, eventually he'll just move on to more of an executive producer role and do other films in the Marvel Universe. Easy Money says there's going to be a Black Panther 2, there's going to be a Captain Marvel 2, there'll be a 3rd Spider-Man film sometime later in that roster because they have one in 2019, so within 2 years of Spider-Man 2, a Doctor Strange film, a Black Widow movie. We don't have any release date for that yet. They're still working on the script, so it's probably going to be at least 3 years before we see that. That still leaves a couple movies on the schedule, like is there going to be another Iron Man solo film? Is there going to be another Thor solo film? They've expressed interest in doing stuff like that, but mostly it's just them waiting for the right script to come along. So I think a lot of those later untitled movie release dates are in case they find that good story, but they always have 4 or 5 different movie ideas, so in case one idea that they're really looking for doesn't come on schedule, they have another movie that's ready to go that they can slot in there. But James Gunn has also been very open about him and Kevin Feige developing the Marvel Cosmic Universe, meaning that we'll get non-Guardians, space-based Marvel movies. So, new characters we've never seen before. For those of you asking for a Nova film, we could always get a Nova film. There are period films set in outer space. So like Captain Marvel is a movie set during the 90s. That's the closest we've had to a period film besides Captain America. Whatever those non-Guardians films are, they're just going to be super weird and they're going to try stuff out. So if they're not super successful, it's not the end of the world. They already have a lot of proven franchises that they can just roll out if they need to start printing their own money, which is basically what Marvel's doing at this point. It's like a cash machine just spitting out money to anybody that wants to make movies. I've already talked a little bit about future Spider-Man sequels, about how they could cross him over with other characters. The future of Marvel movies, even though a lot of these will have solo titles, like it'll be Black Panther 2 or Captain Marvel 2, they will be crossover films featuring other Avengers characters. So, I mean, obviously the title has to be whatever the title's gonna be, but pretty much all the movies since Civil War have been team-up movies, so you could call them low-level Avengers films. It's just they don't have Avengers in the title. So I do think it's totally possible that they could try an A-Force movie because like Tessa Thompson and some of the other bigger female characters have talked about doing a film together. Like, you know, what would that be? It would basically be A-Force, which is an all-female Avengers team led by She-Hulk, who isn't a character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but that's never been a big problem for Marvel. Like if there's a character that's missing like the Mandarin from the Iron Man mythos, they just do something else in its place. So if they want to do an A-Force film, they have plenty of characters to put in that. But here's where we get to the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, the Galactus of it all. What happens if the merger goes through without a hitch? If there's not any big problems, Kevin Feige said that they really only have most of their films locked in to 2020. So like I said, this release date goes up to 2022. Some of those untitled films later in the schedule could change to become X-Men crossover movies, or they're just Marvel movies with X-Men characters in them. So like you could actually potentially see the Fantastic Four show up during Avengers 5, and they could still call the movie New Avengers. It's just that you have Reed Richards running around with all the other Avengers characters in there. So technically it is a big X-Men crossover. But for those of you asking about like full-blown Secret Wars or X-Men versus Avengers, stuff like that, honestly, I don't think that any of that's going to happen till like Phase 5. So we're talking like 2023 to 2025, like 7 to 10 years down the road. I think what you'll see Marvel do once they do get control of those characters, they still let Fox make their X-Men, their Deadpool films, do their own thing. So like Deadpool is his own little universe. He exists by himself. He has his X-Force characters. They have their big running narrative. You do a couple of sequels. No worries. If that's working and it's doing really well, people love it. There's no reason to change that.
That's just lazy writing.
If the mainstream X-Men franchise can get its shit together, same deal for that too. If it doesn't, what you might see happen is they still keep X-Men in its own little self-contained universe, but they reboot the property with new actors and it becomes a full Marvel production in the way that Spider-Man is a full Marvel production. So Sony is a really good template for what they might do with Fox. So like Fox will still be its own separate company. They still own those characters. It's just that Disney will have access to cherry pick if they want to bring some characters from that into the other Marvel movies. It's not as complicated as it sounds. I know people are just wondering, like, when are we going to see Galactus in the Fantastic Four fight with the Avengers in the same film? When are we going to see Wolverine join the Avengers? Stuff like that is probably 7 to 10 years away. Like, they're going to give Hugh Jackman some distance from the Wolverine character. I'm not expecting any kind of Wolverine reboot. The only Wolverine character you'll probably see running around in the Marvel Universe is Deadpool when he's making fun of Hugh Jackman, and then the Laura character. So for the most part, business as usual on the Marvel and the Fox side of things, but 5 to 7 years down the road, you'll see that slowly blending together. And honestly, I think the Fantastic Four will probably be the point of crossover because Reed Richards, the multiverse, Doctor Strange, we're starting to do that in the MCU right now. So that is the key to introducing the Fantastic Four in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Just an alternate reality, that's where all the X-Men characters live, just adjacent to our MCU reality. But if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below. For the most part, they're going to wait to announce every single one of those films for a while. You'll find out about the next couple of ones pretty soon. Like Black Panther 2, they haven't formally announced that. That'll be one of the next things they do. Because we're in the Marvel corridor now, we have Deadpool coming up, we have Avengers Infinity War, there's going to be a bunch of Marvel videos. Leave all your requests in the comments below. And let me know, what films do you want them to do during Phase 4 that they haven't announced yet? The giveaway will just keep going on in all my Marvel videos, so I'll announce a winner the next time I post this weekend. Click here for like that full Phase 4 promo that they just dropped leading up to Infinity War, and click here for brand new Deadpool. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.